Hi again, everyone. When thinking about being a travel writer, it's good to have kind of a reality check and really think about what we're talking about. For every Bill Bryson, there's a Tom Smith. I know. I don't know who Tom Smith is either. I'm sure he's a very nice guy, but he's not famous. But he's a travel writer. So I think, there are people like Bill Bryson and, others that are very famous, and they make a lot of money. They travel the world. They do very well. They have a glamorous life, but most do not. So I think it's worth looking at that and thinking about this. And do you really want to pursue this career? I'm saying, don't stop your desire to do it, but keep it in mind that it's a tough thing to do, but it's not impossible. My very good friend back in Canada is a writer, and this is what he has to say. His name is Patrick Johnson. There are people making a living through SM, social media followers. That's, I think, the only future. But getting 100,000 followers is a long slog. It's a very challenging sector in a dying industry. Basically, legitimate media won't pay for articles when someone has received free stuff. It's unethical and unreliable. So you can write stuff about places you've gone on your own dime, but that's not lucrative. Spend $4,000 to go to Italy and get paid $75. He goes on to say $75 for a story. The only feasible biz model is building a social media base of tens of thousands and then getting free stuff. He paints a fairly negative picture, and I personally know of a couple of people that are successful travel writers, actually three. The three people I interviewed for my How to Be a Travel Writer course at Udemy. They are doing well. They're making a living. One of them is invited on many press and media trips all around the world. She is leading a glamorous life. The other is also getting invited on many press and media trips. And the third is doing well, but she works full-time at another job. But she travel writes and she gets paid and she enjoys it, and that's great. So it can be many things to many people. It can be kind of a side hustle, although you probably shouldn't think of it that way. Or it can be a full-time gig where you're traveling all over the world. But that being said, probably vlogging has a lot more potential, but it's still worth pursuing. So I just wanted to sort of be upfront about that. So what character traits do you need as a travel writer? You're going to be traveling to many different countries that are different from home. And you're going to be waiting for trains, waiting for buses. It's going to be hot. It's going to be dusty. There may be dogs around that you have to be careful of because they might have rabies. If you're traveling to third world countries, it just depends. And is that interesting and exciting to you, or is that just darn right scary for you? You really need to think about that. I love traveling. I mean, it's just something that I've got to do. And if you're like me and you also like writing, then, I think there's a lot of potential for you. But you need to really look at yourself. If you're someone that likes to curl up in front of the TV with a glass of wine and everything's clean and nice and cool, then maybe travel writing's not for you. I think you have to be a bit of an adventurer. So what are some common mistakes that travel writers make? Well, one is writing about a topic because you think it's popular and not using your imagination. You should try to write about things that you're passionate about. You should try to base your writing on your anecdotes. So those are very important. So keep careful notes about all your anecdotes during your trip. Another mistake is when you don't edit well, when you don't proofread, and you don't write at least 3 drafts of your article. You need to check your spelling and grammar. That's another one. Sending your pitch to a chief editor as opposed to a more minor editor at the start. So you need to start small, send your things to one of the more minor editors and get in well with that person, and then slowly build up your reputation. Myself, I don't know. I'm a bit different, I guess. I've often just found a place that I like writing at. There's a local park that I go to. It's really beautiful. It's just like Canada, where I'm from, but it's in Japan. And I just start writing. I just start writing whatever sort of takes me. And if I think it's good enough, I send it off. Admittedly, sometimes I'm not paid for that, but I find it's a good way. I sort of let my natural creativity flow. I don't really have a plan, and I just do it. I don't think that would work for everyone, but that works for me. But I think realistically, if you want to get paid consistently, you should write a pitch and send it off to a publication, ask them if they want that kind of article, and then hopefully they'll hire you for that. And one day you're not going to need to pitch. You're going to be so good and so famous that you won't need to. So, yeah, I think that is good. I got one more quote here from Sally Shalom. She's the Guardian Hotel Clinic. She's the Guardian Hotel critic. And Sally says, "What sets good writing apart is detail, detail, detail. Which cafe on what street? Overlooking what view? You must sweep the reader up and carry them off on the journey with you. Paint an evocation of where you are so we can experience it along with you. Be specific and drop stunning, breathtaking, and fantastic from your lexicon. Otherwise, it's just a TripAdvisor entry." Sally Shalom. I've talked about in some of my videos about bringing the place to life, so I think that's kind of similar to that. You know, she says take so we can experience it along with you. That's kind of what I've been getting at as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything more to add, do I? I'm not sure. Yeah.